Active voice is a fundamental concept in news writing that plays a crucial role in enhancing clarity, transparency, and reader engagement. It involves constructing sentences where the subject performs the action, creating a direct and straightforward narrative. Using active voice in news writing, both for print and broadcast, is important for several reasons. Clarity and directness. Active voice makes sentences clear and direct. It immediately informs the reader who is performing the action, which is crucial in news where conveying information accurately and efficiently is essential. Here's an example that illustrates the clarity and directness achieved through the use of active voice in news writing. In the active voice example, it's immediately clear that the police are the ones who took action after a high-speed chase. This sentence is direct and concise, providing a clear amount of the events without any ambiguity about who was responsible for the apprehension. This clarity is vital in news writing to ensure that readers can quickly understand and absorb the information presented. Engagement. Active voice creates a sense of immediacy and engagement. It draws the reader in and makes them feel more connected to the story. Here's an example that demonstrates how an active voice can enhance engagement in news writing. In the active voice example, the sentence immediately focuses on the subject and the action it took. This formulation is more engaging because it provides a clear, direct account of the event. The reader is immediately drawn into the story as they can easily identify who is taking action and what that action is. This engagement is crucial in news writing to captivate the reader's interest and make the information more compelling. Responsibility and accountability. Active voice assigns responsibility for actions. This is particularly important in news writing, where it's crucial to attribute actions or decisions to specific individuals or organizations. In the active voice example, it's clear that the team is being held responsible for the mistakes in handling the financial report. This formulation emphasizes accountability by explicitly stating who was responsible for the errors. This is crucial in news reporting, as it ensures that actions or decisions are attributed to specific individuals or groups, fostering transparency and accountability. Easier comprehension. It's generally easier for readers to process information in an active voice. They can quickly understand who is doing what. Here's an example that illustrates how active voice contributes to easier comprehension in news writing. In the active voice example, it's immediately clear that the City Council is the entity making the decision to increase taxes. The sentence is straightforward and easy to understand because the subject is performing the action. This direct attribution of action leads to easier comprehension for readers, as they can quickly grasp who is responsible for the decision. This is especially important in news writing, where clarity and understanding are paramount. Conciseness. Active voice often leads to shorter, more concise sentences. This is valuable in news writing, where space and reader attention are limited. Here's an example that showcases how an active voice can lead to conciseness in news writing. In the active voice example, the sentence is more concise because it directly attributes the action to the subject. This brevity is valuable in news writing, where space and reader attention are often limited. By using active voice, writers can convey information in a more streamlined and efficient manner. Avoidance of ambiguity. Passive voice can sometimes lead to ambiguity or confusion about who is responsible for an action. Active voice eliminates this potential confusion. Here's an example that demonstrates how an active voice helps to avoid ambiguity in news writing. In the active voice example, it's immediately clear that the police are the ones who filed the report on the incident. This formulation eliminates any potential for confusion or ambiguity about who took the action. The subject is clearly identified as the doer of the action, ensuring that the information is presented in a straightforward and ambiguous manner. This is crucial in news writing, where precision and clarity are essential. Highlighting the subject. In news, it's often important to emphasize the subject of a sentence. Active voice does this naturally by placing the subject at the beginning of the sentence. Here's an example that illustrates how active voice can highlight the subject in news writing. In the active voice example, the sentence emphasizes the director as the subject who took action. This formulation puts the focus squarely on the director's role in the event. It provides a clear and direct account of who performed the action, which can be particularly important when reporting on significant events or actions in news articles. This emphasis on the subject helps to convey the information in a way that highlights the key figures involved. Creating impact. Active voice can lend more weight to the subject of a sentence, making the information feel more significant or impactful. Here's an example that demonstrates how active voice can be used to create impact in news writing. In the active voice example, the sentence carries more impact because it immediately emphasizes the research team as the doers of the groundbreaking discovery. This formulation underscores the significance of the team's achievement, making the information feel more impactful and memorable to the reader. This kind of emphasis on the subject and action can be particularly effective when conveying major news or significant achievements. Credibility and trustworthiness. Using an active voice can contribute to the credibility of a news source. It gives the impression of transparency and accountability. Here's an example that demonstrates how an active voice contributes to credibility and trustworthiness in news writing. In the active voice example, the sentence clearly states that an anonymous source wrote the article. This formulation provides transparency and accountability by attributing the authorship to a specific entity, even if the source remains anonymous. This direct attribution enhances the credibility of the news source as it demonstrates a commitment to providing clear and accountable information to the audience. This is crucial in maintaining the trust of readers in the news content they consume. Journalistic integrity. Journalism is about reporting facts accurately and objectively. Active voice aligns with this principle by clearly attributing actions and statements to their sources. Here's an example that exemplifies journalistic integrity through the use of an active voice in news writing. In the active voice example, the sentence immediately attributes the acknowledgement of mistakes to the company. This formulation upholds journalistic integrity by clearly stating who is taking responsibility for the errors. It provides transparency and accountability, which are key elements of journalistic integrity. This approach ensures that actions or statements are accurately attributed to the responsible party, enhancing the credibility and trustworthiness of the news source. While there are cases where passive voice is appropriate, such as when the focus should be on the recipient of an action rather than the doer, active voice remains the preferred choice for most news articles due to its effectiveness in conveying information clearly and engagingly.